I remember on, what was it, 2 or 3 days ago, we had a really difficult day struggling into Falmouth. We'd been tacking backwards and forwards, we had no engine, we'd lost power, and what else had been going on? Oh yeah, the wind kept moving. It was all my fault. And you thought it was all your fault, which is not true.
You didn't know that till I got
well, exactly, it wasn't true. But you thought it was your fault. Anyhow, it was all very, very difficult, and we weren't going to get to a pontoon. And right at the last, right at the last moment, this little motorboat came along. A guy in a little dinghy came along and gently pushed us into position, which for you sort of made some sort of completely different, you really made some sense of it for you. What was that?
Well, I've been looking for, because the situation I've been in has been so overwhelming and has been bigger than me. I've always been looking for something bigger than me and bigger than the situation to solve that problem. And I've always believed it would need to be something massive to encompass the problem the way it's encompassed me. So to see a tiny little boat come and approach us, and for you to call it to help us when we were enormous by comparison to the size of the boat that you'd called over, which to me seemed absolutely ridiculous that you would call that boat, particularly when there was a massive boat going past just to the left, and that was the boat I thought we needed to help. But the little boat did hit, the guy in it did help, and it took a lot of little movements, but he very, very carefully and competently, we all safely arrived at the pontoon because of the effort of this tiny little
pulled and pushed,
and it did take a couple of different approaches, but not because he was making any mistakes. It just worked. It just worked really well. It changed absolutely everything, and it meant a lot for what we'd been through for that day, but also for the rest of the journey that we were on together.
Because you made some sort of sense of it then, that maybe I don't have to look for something enormous anymore.
No, yeah. That little things would make a big difference. It didn't have to equate to the size of the problem. It could be a lot smaller than the problem and make a massive difference to it.
So a little push in the right place at the right moment can change everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it has done.
And what we talked about, what I think when we talked about off was, like a particular word or a particular look at the right moment can change your life. And one of the things that makes sense to me when you say that is, of course, that's what addiction is all about, isn't it? When we're looking for something that will overwhelm us, more powerful, that we think is all powerful, and we keep taking it thinking that's going to solve the problem. So it's not just changing that, it's actually recognising that actually the opposite really does work in a concrete way.
Totally. And addiction does encompass you emotionally, mentally, physically. It does seem to take over your relationships, what you own, and all those kinds of things. But you don't need to have something big to fix all of those things to start making a difference in your recovery.
And the thing you did, and we did, was ask for help.
Yeah, absolutely.
We said, "Oi, help!"
Yeah, but he couldn't hear you, so I had to shout.
That's right. Some of us have loud voices as others.
We needed a bigger voice to attract the little boat.
That's right. That's great. Cracking. Bloody great. That's great.